Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Pretty Pink Posh has a brand new release that's all about spring and Easter. There are so many fun new stamps, dies, shaker mixes, and stencils. First, I'll show you everything that's included in the release, then I'll put together a fun spring card. Here's a look at the 4 new shaker mixes. The set on the left is called Spring Flowers Mix. Then we have Hippity Hoppity Mix. There are 2 new shaker bead sets. This first one is called Sugar Pop. And the final set is called Spring Pastel. I think this set would also be great for winter cards. Next, I'll show you the stamp set. There's a new upright greeting set called Easter. Really nice variety of spring and Easter sentiments. And you can mix and match several of the words together to create different sentiments. And this set coordinates perfectly with Pretty Pink Posh's Sentiment Strips die set. I use it all the time. The next stamp set is Easter Icons. It includes 12 adorable images, and there are coordinating dies. There's a die that goes around every single image, plus a scallop circle and 2 smaller circles. The next stamp set is my favorite since it's mostly sentiments. It's called Easter Greetings, and there are coordinating dies. There is a die that goes around every single image and sentiment. There's a mix of Easter and spring sentiments, plus the sentiment, "Some bunny loves you." You could use that throughout the year. I love tulips, so I may need to stamp that tiny tulip image. I think it's small enough I could get away with coloring it. Now moving on to the dies, and one of my favorites is a tulip shaker die. I'm a huge tulip fan, and the tulip fields will be blooming here in Western Washington probably in the next couple weeks. Super excited. The next die set is Carrot Shaker. This is a really cute design. I love all the faux stitch detail. And with Pretty Pink Posh's shaker die sets, you can use them to create shakers or non-shaker images. There are 2 new border die sets. The first one is Grass. You can always use a nice grass border. It goes perfectly with spring and Easter cards. Then we have a new holder die set, Say Hello to Bunny. I love Pretty Pink Posh's holder die set. There's a ghost, fox, dog, and now we have a bunny. And there is an Easter holder edition set. So lots of fun images that the bunny can hold, and you can also use them to decorate the bunny. It even includes the sentiment "Hi." I was really excited to see this set, and I plan on using it to make a bunch of Easter cards. The other new border die set is called Butterfly, and I love this design. There are 3 different butterflies all together in that long border strip, and it also includes the individual pieces for the butterflies. The next die set is another add-on set. This is Easter Bucket. So this coordinates with the original Candy Bucket die set. You can use the different pieces in this set to create 3 different animal images: a lamb, a chick, and also a bunny. Plus it has lots of fun pieces to put inside the bucket. There are Easter eggs, jelly beans, carrots, and some beautiful flowers. Next up is a new Fringe die set. This one is Egg. There are 4 dies in the set that you can layer all together to create a fun fringe egg design. And if you enjoy adding Easter eggs to your project, there's a new Build an Egg die set. This set includes 4 different eggs with different faux stitch detail. And there are tons of little die pieces you can use to decorate your eggs. Now moving on to the stencil sets, and there are 5 new stencil sets in the release. The first one is Line Bursts. This is a single layer stencil. Then we have Tiny Bows. Love this cute bow design. The next set is Springtime Borders, and there are 2 stencil layers in this set. And the final two sets are watercolor rectangle and watercolor oval. And there are two pieces included. One is the outside frame, and it also has that cutout piece. This is great for stenciling a background. And I will be using one of the watercolor stencils in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. So that's everything that's included in Pretty Pink Posh's March 2025 release. And if you are interested in any of the products, I do have links in the description box below. I couldn't resist making a spring card right away. The products I'll be using on this card are the Line Burst Stencil Set, Easter Greetings Stamp and Dies, the Carrot Shaker, Grass Border, and also the Butterfly Border. And I'll also be using the Easter Bucket Editions, just the carrot image. For the background of my card, I am using some pattern paper. This is from Violet Studios' Ombre collection, and unfortunately it has been retired. I love this style of pattern paper since it looks like I spent lots of time ink blending, but the card recipient never has to know it's simply pattern paper. I selected this lovely ombre design with greens and yellows, and I cut it down to A2 size, so 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. I'll place the Line Burst stencil on top, and I'm holding it in place with some mint tape from scrapbook.com. The ink color I'm using is Catherine Pooler's Melon Ice. I'm adding more color in the center of that circle and gradually getting lighter toward the edge of the card. After going over the entire stencil area of the card, I'll peel up the stencil, but just on the right side, take a peek and see if I need to add more ink. I'm keeping the left side still attached to my craft desk. And after looking, decided I needed just a little more color on the right, left side, and at the top. After going over that area again, I'll peel back the stencil, and I'm happy with how it looks. So I'll remove the stencil. Now I didn't stencil at the very bottom since I will be covering up that area with some grass. But first I'll add my card front onto a card base, and I'm using ATG tape. Line it up on the top fold of the card. I've already die cut out 2 grass borders, and I use that darker green of the ombre paper, the area that I cut off. For the first grass border, it's a little bit taller, and I did put foam dimension on the back. This is from scrapbook.com. It's the 1/4 inch foam in the 1 millimeter thickness. After adhering that down, I'll add the second shorter grass border. To adhere it in place, I'll put some clear double-sided adhesive tape on the back side. This is the 1/8 inch tape. Remove the release paper. And since it is a smaller piece, sometimes that bottom edge curls slightly. So I'll slowly attach it along the bottom edge of the card. And I didn't cut this piece to 5.5 inches, so the right and left side do go off the edge. Once it's attached, I'll simply flip over my card, use a pair of scissors, and trim off the overhang. So there's the main background of the card. Now I'll grab the rest of the die cut pieces. This card will feature the large carrot image and also 2 smaller carrot images. I used the Carrot Shaker die set for the larger carrot. I cut out the main piece from green cardstock and also orange cardstock. But for the green piece, I trimmed the bottom at a curve to follow the design of the carrot. For the 2 smaller carrots, there is a die on the set for that small green piece. And I used the same orange cardstock color for all 3 carrots and also the same green cardstock for the leaf area. I'll also be adding some butterflies. For the larger butterfly, there are 2 pieces, has the wings with the body, and then there's an individual die piece for the body. I use black cardstock for the body and a lighter orange cardstock color for all 3 butterflies. So there are all the die cut images assembled. Very simple designs. I'll be adding the sentiment Happy Spring, and I stamped it on more of the ombre paper. I'll also be adding a bow, and I cut this out of gold mirror cardstock. I'll adhere the larger carrot down first, and it'll go in the very center of the card. Now right now it's a little bit too tall, so I did use a pair of scissors and trim off the very bottom. You won't see this since it'll be tucked behind the grass. I am popping up just the leaf area of the carrot using some small foam squares from scrapbook.com. I'll remove the release paper, put Barely Art glue behind the carrot, and adhere it in place. With it tucked behind the 2 layers of grass, you can't see the cut off area of the carrot. Next, I'll add the sentiment in the upper right hand corner, and I'm gluing this down directly, decided not to pop it up. For the 2 smaller carrots, I'll do the same thing, trim off the very bottom, and I'll pop up the leafy area using some small foam squares. The foam squares are from scrapbook.com. It's their 1mm thickness. I'll remove the release paper, put glue behind the rest of the carrot, adhere the smaller carrot on the right side. Now I'll trim off the very bottom of the final carrot, remove the release paper from the foam, and adhere it on the left side. And I'm trying to adhere them evenly spaced and at the same height. Now I'll add the larger butterfly, and I'm only putting glue behind the body. That way I can lift up the wings for more dimension. I'll put one of the smaller butterflies on the right side and the final small butterfly on the left side underneath the larger butterfly. I have one final die cut to attach, and that's the gold bow. Put glue on the back and adhere it at the top of the large carrot. And this covers up that little curve area I cut, so if you don't get it perfect, you can hide it behind a bow. For a final finishing touch, I'm using a white gel pen, adding highlights on all 3 of the carrot's leaves, and also some small dots on the larger butterfly wings. I love how this card turned out. Perfect for a cheerful spring card. I may add Happy Easter on the inside and give it to the residents at a nearby retirement home. And since I have a habit of making multiples, I did make 2 cards. For the other card, I went with a lighter stenciling in the background, but I think I prefer it a little bit brighter. If you are interested in the new release from Pretty Pink Posh, I do have links in the description box below. And I will have more videos featuring the fun new products. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.